Well, good Monday morning to you. We're going to end up this lesson doing three different lessons, one on algorithms, one on flowcharts, and the last one on pseudocode. I know you did a little bit with algorithms before. We're going to approach it from a different angle this time. So this slide talks about what an algorithm is. It's basically just a step-by-step instructions on how to accomplish a task. Here's an example of an algorithm. So our algorithm is calling a friend on a landline phone. So the input is putting the telephone number into the phone. The output is a conversation with your friend. So the input is what the user does. The output is what the computer does. But in this case, for our example, it's talking with your friend because that is what we want the outcome of this algorithm to be. Assumptions, and I'll talk a little bit more about this when I talk about the actual lesson, but the assumptions are the phone bill has been paid, the phone lines are in service, and you have your friend's phone number. Assumptions basically are things that we have to assume as humans when we start writing these algorithms. Computers cannot assume things, so when you're writing code you have to assume everything, or at least account for everything that the computer needs to know in order to run the program. For this, we have some assumptions, and those are three listed here. There's other ones that could be that you have a phone, that you have a friend. I mean, we could probably list hundreds of different things we can assume that must be true in order for this algorithm to work. So these are the 7 steps of this algorithm. Step number 1 is pick up the phone and listen for a dial tone. Step number 2 is press or dial each digit of the phone number on the phone. Step 3, if the line is busy, hang up the phone, wait 5 minutes, and go back to step 1. If that is not true, then we go on to step 4. If no one answers, leave a message and jump to step 7. If that is not true, then we go on to step 5. If there's no answering machine, hang up, wait 2 hours, then jump back to step 1. If that is not true, that means we are talking to our friend, and we do that, and then when we're done, we hang up the phone. So we have 7 steps. With a couple loops. So we have a loop here. In step 3, if busy, we're going to loop back to step 1. In step 4, if no one answers, leave a message and jump to step 7. And then we have a loop here. If there's no answering machine, hang up, wait 2 hours, and jump to step 1. So the assignment is going to be for you to think of a real-life algorithm, something similar to this example on slide 59. So what you're going to do is you're going to specify, what is the input. In this case, it was dialing the phone. If you're doing a recipe, which is a very simple and very common real-life algorithm, and then the input is putting in the ingredients. The process by which you operate on that input to produce the accomplished task. So what that means is you're going to create steps, like we have here, steps 1 through 7, to accomplish that task. What is the output? In this case, the output was talking to your friend. For a recipe, the output could be a cake or cookies. And then the assumptions that we talked about. In a recipe, your assumptions could be that you have the needed ingredients, that you have an oven to bake things in, that you have a pan to bake the cake in. So what you're going to do, again, is list your input, and you see the example here. You're going to list your output, you're going to list your assumptions, and the steps. So everything here on slide 59, you're just going to basically mimic this to create your algorithm. So on a Google Doc, this is wrong, 59. On a Google Doc, create your algorithm using the example on slide 59 as a template. Name your task that the algorithm describes. So the task here is calling a friend on a landline phone. The input and the output, which we just talked about, the input and the output. The 3 assumptions, the list of steps involved, and number each step. So exactly, literally copy this. I want to see algorithm, what's your algorithm? Input, what's your input? Output, what's your output? 3 assumptions, what are the 3 things that you have to assume in order for this algorithm to work, and then the steps of it. So that's your assignment for today, due by midnight tonight. Again, if any questions, please let me know.